What do I do when I get to a company? The first thing I realize when I get to any company is that they have too many products, too many customers, too many vendors, too many employees, too much complexity, too many transactions. They've got too much of everything. I know that going in intrinsically. But what if I went to a company and I said, you know what, guys, first day, your problem is you have too many customers and too many products, and what would they tell me? You don't know our business, Joe. How can you say that? You don't know our business. And besides, our business is different. 80-20 won't work here. Our business is different. You don't understand our business. Those are the three things that you tend never to tell an ITW person. Gets them upset. 80-20 won't work here. You don't know my business. My business is different. That's not accurate. But you can't just tell them that. So you get the data. And then we ask for data. So what I ask for is, give me a top-down list of all of your customers from the biggest to the smallest over a 1-year period. Give me a top-down list of all of your products, top to bottom, descending order, by revenue, over a 1-year period. And that's it. What do we do with that? We then make up something called the quartile chart. And the quartile chart, you'll find I like to draw lots of boxes and squares, so bear with me. Oops, managed not to fall. That's good. 1,000 customers, let's say. Let's say you have 1,000 customers. It works if you have 100. It works if you have 2,000. Doesn't matter. The worst I've ever seen, well, I'm working on one now that's got 250,000 customers. A $500 million company has 250,000 customers. So when I say 1,000, it may sound like a lot. It's not. We split it by 4. Divide it by 4. And what I want to know is what % of a company's revenue comes from each one of its quartiles. Right? And here's what the number is. The number is 89. And then the next one is 7, and the next one is 3, and the next one is 1. And that's the way it is at your business. That's the way it is at your business. I don't know your business, so how do I know it's like that at your business? Because it's always like that. It's always that way. And you can look at that and you go, that's fascinating, sure, but we knew about this. We knew that it was about 80% over 20%. We knew this. Well, that's not the fascinating part, is it? What's the fascinating part when you look at this chart? Well, the fascinating part when I look at this chart is I got 4% of the revenue here tied up in half the customer base. Half of the customer base is 4% of the revenue. Half of your product base is 4% of the revenue. Well, it'll really get fascinating in a minute because that's the revenue column. This column is going to be what I call the cost column, or let's call it effort. What % of your effort goes into each quartile? What % of your overhead goes into each quartile? I'll give you a hint. It's not 89,731. Some people say it's 13789. It's not that either, although there are cases where it can be that imbalanced. No, the reality is that it's 25, 25, 25, and 25. That's the reality. You believe that? A lot of people don't. A lot of people say, no way. No way do I spend as much time on those guys as I do on those guys. No way. Yeah, you do. Let me ask you guys a question. When the phone rings at your company, does it ring any differently when it's a little customer as when it's a big customer, or does it ring just the same? It rings just the same, does it? And when they pick up that phone, the person that picks it up, what are they trained to do? Help. To give great service, right? Yes, company XYZ, can I help you? What do you need? Oh, you need that? Let me do it for you. But they go to work, right? And we're trained that way from birth, aren't we? Because you can fill in these blanks, can't you? Every customer is a good customer. No job too big or too small. How about a Burger King jingle? Have it your way. I could sing more, but it doesn't really. fit in well. But yeah, we're trained that way. We're trained that every customer is a good customer. They're all important. I'll ask a question that in hundreds of times asking it has never been answered incorrectly. Never once. So we'll see who wants to take a shot at it. I'll just ask it to the group. Let's say that we were a board of directors here, all right? And let's say I said, you know what, guys, bear with me. This is our company. We don't have this. This is our company. Our company is 96% of the revenue. It's 50% of the cost base. Okay? That's our company. That's the company we're responsible for. And the CEO walks in and says, board, I've got a great opportunity for us. You're going to love this. I can add 4% growth, and all we got to do is double the cost base to get it. Board, I need your approval. What would the board say? They'd look for handguns, right? Nobody would. Anybody would take that if they didn't have it? Of course not. So I ask you guys a question. If you wouldn't take it if you didn't have it, can you tell me why you're keeping it now that you got it? You follow? If you wouldn't take this if you didn't have it, why are you keeping it now that you got it? Because the reality is you got it. If you did a profit and loss statement on this half, how do you think you're doing? Well, you're getting shelled. How do you think you're doing up here? You're making a fortune. Here's the beautiful thing about 80-20, guys. It's not that you're not making enough money in your business. You're just not keeping it. You make a fortune up here and you systematically throw it away as you go down the quartile chart. Simple as that.